Hopefully y'all can hear me out there. Shalom. Peace to all. I know I came up a little late, but I was watching this cool ass stream about Hebrews and shit. It was really good. It was a nice way to close out the night and close out the year, I guess, to see some positive shit. And they had a brother on there with a lot of information, man. Well, blessings to all, man. Hopefully y'all can hear me. Mic check 1 2 1 2 1 2. This is gonna be probably the last one of this year, man. And I think that this year came and went real quick. It's real quick. I hope everybody's enjoying their night tonight, chilling with their loved ones and all that. It's a lot of stuff to unravel and reveal this year. Um, but between, the YouTube shit and a lot of the real life shit, there was a lot of stuff that was happening. There was a lot of stuff that I really didn't understand. It was a lot of unnecessary shit from the beefs to the political stunts to all the passing of all the young kings, if you will. And a lot of these brothers were took way too early, man. And I think in the next upcoming life that's coming up, the next chapter in everybody's lives, I think we all need to want to do better, envision doing better, because we've seen how fast time flies and how fast, a year can go. You definitely want to plan out the next year thoroughly, thoroughly, and have a game plan set. I think that we could do better next year. I think that a lot of shit that we saw this year, I think it was just growing pains, man. It's a lot of people that you see that want to grow, so they do whatever they think that they do whatever it takes to win, stabbing people in the back, starting shit with people. You see a lot of that. That you see a lot of that childish shit on here. So I say growing pains because eventually a lot of the people that participate in that fuck shit. Even a lot of the stunts that a lot of these celebrities did, like the Kunye's and shit, growing pains. Growing pains. I believe they going through the shit that they going through. I would like to see a better version of a lot of people next year in the next chapter of everyone's lives, as well as me. Shit, I don't exclude myself from that shit. I want to see a better me, and hopefully I can get to that and I can achieve that. Once again, I appreciate everybody coming through. Anybody that sees this on the replay, I appreciate it. Don't forget to give me them likes. Now, as far as a lot of the young brothers we lost and the brothers coming into their prime, coming into their own as melanated men, with the brother PMB and the brother Takeoff. Is it Takeoff? I think it was Takeoff. Oh, well, a whole slew of other brothers, man. That brother from LA, I think that was this year. two brothers, I believe, from LA. Um, they're so young, you know. And I'm not saying I'm so old. I'm just saying a lot of these brothers that are passing on, they're so young and they have their life ahead of them and they barely getting, you know, the fruits of their labor and stuff like that. Sorry about that. Drop something. Um, it's sad to see that, to see young brothers, you know, taking other brothers' lives and trying to get my headset correct. On. That's nice right there. That's nice. I like that. Real chill music. Hopefully you can hear me. I had to fix my headset. But to see so many young brothers die at the hands of other young brothers, it's it's crazy, you know, because everybody has their life ahead of them, and I don't think that we, no, I know for sure that we not put on earth to take each other's lives, you know, take other people away from their families, you know, their children, their mothers, their cousins and fathers. I know we're not here for that. And I do believe what you put in the atmosphere, it can come true. It definitely can. And I know a lot of these brothers, you know, they're not saints. And I don't think a lot of them are ever going to claim that or even try to have that attached to them, to their name. I think a lot of these brothers whose lives passed from the hands of other brothers, I think that they knew what they were getting themselves into. I used to just say, hey, um, it is what it is. There will be another one on the chopping block soon enough. But I realized that you got to kind of have a better attitude than that. You got to have a better outlook than that, especially when you are in the melanated community. You know what I mean? I think we have to give our people a little bit more. Um, you have to be patient because it requires a little bit more time when you're dealing with your people and you're dealing with the conditions that we have to deal with and we have to live with. So um, I don't fault a lot of the brothers in what they do. I'm not condoning it and saying it's right. I'm not saying for us to look over it. What I'm saying is we need to learn from it. We see it. We have to start putting something better in the atmosphere for one another to use, not just the children, but for us because we soak into music, we soak into that shit just like the children do. Clearly, we create an atmosphere of, hey, it's okay for us to kill, it's okay for us to do all this and that. Then you typically have a lot of grown people doing a lot of murders and all that shit, and then they go out and they do that shit. They go out and start shooting. So we do have to start taking control of that aspect within the community. Now, it starts not just in the music. It starts in the mindset. It starts in the mindset. It starts with creating good habits and not just the atmosphere and within you. Because within you, it'll change around people that's around you. So your outlook should be, hey, instead of rapping about guns and all this shit, let me talk about something else. Let me talk about a different version of Earth that I want to see, right? And you'll see it. You know, it's a lot of good, wholesome music out there that never gets pushed out. It's never in the forefront. It's never where a lot of people can consume it, or a lot of people don't want to consume it. A lot of people like the toxic horseshit music, all this new dumbass shit that's out these days. Like the conscious shit, it just gets looked over. And when people hear conscious, they just think that, oh shit, is somebody that's about to talk about, superhero shit, saving kittens from a burning fire, a cat that's trapped on a tree branch and shit. No, it's not like that, man. I think when we think of conscious, I think we need to, in our minds, think of a person, one that knows himself, him or herself, when you think of conscious. So when you think of conscious music, just know that this is a person, when you listening to this shit, that knows themselves, that knows their purpose on this shit. You know what I mean? I think Pac was very good at that. I think Pac had a great balance with that shit. I think Pac had he had the gangster side, but he also had the more wholesome, soft, conscious side where he talked about a lot of the ills. We need to start promoting that shit and promoting more content like that. At least try to do that and at least attempt to do that. I mean, at least your your mind won't always be on that fuck shit. Your mind won't always be poisoned by all this negative ass shit that's going on today. And it's always okay to report real shit and report shit that's happening and report shit in real time. It's always important to do that. But I think we also have to have a balance of the shit. You know what I mean? I think we all need our release, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think we all need to have our outlet, right? Because some of us do have busy schedules. Some of us might be busy with children all week. Some of us might be going to work. Some of us might be going to school and going to work at the same time while juggling, the life shit. And you need your outlet. So when you get from one of these gigs, you want to see some fuck shit, right? Just like when you turn on the TV, you want to see some motherfucker throw water in somebody's face and all that shit. I get it. But I think us as melanated folks, I think we have to have some guidelines on what's fun. I think we have to have some boundaries on what's fun. It can't just be, I snap on you. I want to do everything I can to ruin your life. I think, we have to do better. We have to put better shit out. You know what I mean? And I think that you will see a huge change in not only the grown people. So you will probably see a lot of these shootings and deaths and shit, and a lot of these young ass rappers getting killed. But then the kids that are coming up, they'll get off this drill shit and get off this fucking I gotta be a killer to be successful or go viral and shit like that. But then at the same time, it might not ever happen, man, because a lot of people, it's not just our community, a lot of people seem to soak into this negative shit. You know, a lot of us love the world star and love the violent videos that go viral and shit like that. Um, we as people, right? Us as people, we the co-founders. I mean, we are the original finders and founders. Wouldn't say co-founders. We are the original finders of hip hop. We are the original creators of rap. That shit is us. Everywhere we go, it's black culture. When you talk, it's black culture. Your clothing and your hairstyle is black culture. You made it yours by constantly doing things that you do in your community. You got it by constantly wearing shit in your neighborhood that other people in your neighborhood gravitated to and made it your own. That's black culture. That's anybody's culture if you the one that originated that fucking shit. And we know spitting, that's our shit. There's a soul, there's soul attached to raps. There's soul attached to lyrics. That's us. I don't know no other ethnic group that has that. That's us. When we talking about spitting our lives work and all that shit, that's us. But somewhere along the lines, we kind of just we lost our place, man. We lost our place as people, and we've had conversations on here about what the NWAs and Too Short and shit like that. And I, like I said, man, there's been I think our community it just gradually got worse over time, over generational after every generation after generation after generation. I just think it was something that was introduced to it to get us. Right? They always say it was, gangster rap music and all that. But what about before, with the pimp movies and shit with the Mac? You feel me? And pimp shit. That's way before NWA and all that, and Ice T and all that shit. Before that shit came around, you know what I mean? And it's always been something that's been injected into the community for its demise and for its breakdown, or just something like imagery wise, Kanye West being the face of that makes us look like we, are worse than we are. Unfortunately, you might have a person like Candace Owens or, Kanye that because of the platform that they have, people think that they represent us, and that's not always the case. We know that a lot of us just can't really have that voice and have that outlet like a lot of these bigger platforms. Like nobody's gonna out talk Kanye. You know what I mean? He's a big name, so you're not gonna have anything bigger than that. But the outside world, unfortunately, they see Kanye. He represents us. So everything he's saying, people just go along with that shit. The whole world goes along with that shit. The White Lives Matter shirts and all that shit. I think we all behind that shit. Why? Because Kanye and his platform, and because he has the voice and he can do that and say the things that he say. Nobody gonna stop him. And it's just like, no, he does not represent us. Kanye West do not represent us. Kanye, Candace Owens does not represent us. They represent themselves. And I think people need to understand that when you're dealing with melanated people. Even melanated people need to understand when you're dealing with other melanated people, you're dealing with them from an individual meeting and an individual standpoint. When I meet you, I don't expect you to be like the next melanated person, right? And vice versa. You shouldn't do the same thing with me. So that would be like having biases. We need to remove the biases because the biases are so like they're annoying. They're annoying as fuck. I really hate that shit. I really hate because you're black you should know how to dance, roll the biggest blunts. How many baby mamas do you have? I hate that fucking shit. Like that's some fucked up warped way of thinking. And then what's even more fucked up is your own fucking people that'll do it. Your own people will generalize you and they'll have some biases. If you're a certain age or if you don't make a certain amount of money, then you're put automatically in the category. It's like, what the fuck? So I hate when you have the judgment from other nations, but I also hate when we do that shit to ourselves. I really hate that shit when we do it to our own fucking people and shit like that. And then we're so surprised that we don't do this shit. Like I don't like if you're not using the N word around certain people, they're like, "Oh shit, there's something wrong with you." No, just don't use it. I'm not really tied to that word. I'm not really feeling that word like my fellow brothers and sisters that do use the shit. And they could use the shit. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not telling anybody what they could do or how they should talk or how they should think. I think that's nobody has that kind of power. Really. So who would I be to just sit here and say anybody that's using that word, there's such and such, or some people think there's something wrong with you. Why you not saying this shit? And then, for me in that word, for me, I don't get no superpowers from that word, the N word. I don't get anything. I don't like feel you feel me? I don't feel like I'm cool or anything like that because I'm saying that shit. I don't understand how people can have a problem with coon in the maggot word, but you're okay with the N word. That shit just it flips me out. And then the universal meaning of the N word, like people use the N word on here for like white people, and sometimes I think it can be used or applied to just males in general. When you hear some of these very ignorant thinking channel holders, when they just apply, and then they just apply that shit. This is what I'm saying. They apply that shit, that bias shit, to everybody. Like everybody thinks like that shit. Like everybody, like to a lot of these channel holders that are just ignorant as shit. Like you have the bitch is always a female, and the man is always the N word. Even a white person, even a white person. I've heard some dumb shit like that where somebody is actually referring to a white person as the N word. It's very interesting. Um, but that's not that's not really the language that they're using because I say bitch all the goddamn time. I'm gonna keep saying that shit. to the day I die. It's my favorite word. Um, but I use that shit when necessary and when it needs to be when it something needs to be explained and you need that right word. Everything needs that right word. Every when you having a topic or if you talking about something and that shit could get intense or looking and searching for that word that explains what you think and what you feel at that moment, then you use them words. You know, I don't think that every woman is a bitch. I damn sure don't think every man is an N word. So that, and then that, just having that mindset, a lot of people on here will say that you're weird for having that mindset or for thinking that way. Right? And it's just sad. You know, it's just sad. It's gonna take a while for us to come out of that way of thinking. You know, it, if the Asians can get their bill, why is it that we can't quit words that Massa, uses against us? I don't understand that. It's strange, but you know. I want to say what's up to Professor Raph. What's going on with you, brother? She was up in here early, man. Salute to you, Cap, man. E, what's up with you? Realist, what's up with you, man? Yeah, man. I hope everybody is enjoying their days, man. Their holidays, non-holidays. If you celebrate, don't celebrate. I appreciate anybody that keeps coming in and coming out. I appreciate those that hitting that like for me. Shit, I appreciate those that just want to listen. That's cool too. I get it. Some people might be with their family. Some people just want something to listen to. I get it. I get it. Sometimes when you just cruising through YouTube and you find a channel that you have maybe a nice topic that somebody has and you just listen away, right? You just chilling. They could be talking about nothing. I'm not talking about nothing, but you still gonna listen, right? Blessings, blessings, blessings. The world, man. What's good with you, man? What's good with you, man? Yeah, man. I'm just chilling, man. Tonight, you know, I know everybody is getting ready for them holidays, man. I don't really celebrate, but I damn sure don't want to shit on anybody's traditions, anybody's celebrations. Definitely don't want to shit on anybody's sad time, depressing time, or just a trauma type like time, right? Just like this. I know it's a lot of YouTubers that I've seen and viewed that uh, told their story, right? I'm just trying to figure out how to say it. Um, told personal stories and shit about their upbringing, and then their parents, or even their significant other, in some cases on YouTube, talk about um their their mates passing or their loved ones passing, and this could be a stressful time for a lot of people. This could be a real troublesome time frame for people. It's the end of the year. There's a lot of things going, and plus a lot of these people that are dealing with a lot of these traumas, could be, they could have children, so them dealing with the tragedies that they deal with, and at the same time trying to keep the smile on their face during the holidays and shit like that, it could be stressful, you know. But then it's a lot of people that could be enjoying the holidays, their families, And I think the holidays were invented or intended to be a good thing. For me, it just I just stopped believing in a lot of this shit. Just beliefs, and then just some of this shit just sometimes feels like a bowl of farts, a bowl of shit farts. It just doesn't make any sense, man. You go the whole year, a whole entire year, and then one day out of the year, now everybody's nice. Now I can get out of a speeding ticket. I could rob a bank, but it's a holiday. And I'm not saying I'm robbing a bank, YouTube. I'm not saying I'm robbing a bank. I'm just saying that it's crazy, how people change up during the holidays, and how people um their mind just, it changes during the holidays, right? You go from all year, let's say you a corporate businessman, right? Suit all week, in the office all week, secretary taking your notes, don't give a fuck about anybody, right? Just mean as fuck, grouchy as shit, don't really, not really paying your secretary, right? Your secretary works real hard, but the end of the year comes, and now you're a nice person. Now you just change. You just automatically change into somebody that's saint like. Right now, all of a sudden, you giving food to the homeless. You giving out clothes to shelters, right? And I'm like, damn, bro, I don't know if I can fuck with that. I don't know if I could fuck with that shit. I don't know if I could rock with that, man. It's just something about that, man. Cause I'm pretty much the same guy all year. I definitely would never wait to the last month of the year to give out some food and clothes to the needy, less fortunate. I wouldn't have to wait that long to do that. It's just crazy. And then the large amount of money. I mean, if you're gonna spend all that fucking money on just one day, you can't get mad a month later when you broke as fuck. Excuse my language. Try not to cuss. But when that day where you spent 1,000 of rack, all your family members took them out and all that shit. You didn't took Big Mama out. You didn't took your lady and her family out, plus your family, plus your family, plus Big Mama wanted to supersize the shit. Your grandpa want specific shit because his old ass can't eat this shit. For one day, then a month later, you like, damn, I should have never spent all that shit. I could have been using that money for this. Because remember, your boss gave you a raise. But what'd you do with that raise? You blew all that shit on one day. But then I guess it has different spectrums to it, right? Because you might be looking at like, damn, my family don't have no limits. My family doesn't have no bounds when it comes to my finances and when it comes to my money, right? Because I mean, if I was rich and I was just balling out of the gym, I would do the shit. I would. I'd be like, hey, y'all, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. My Oprah shit. Straight Oprah shit. But when you, because most of us can agree, when you live within your means, and we know within your means just means like you ain't got it like that. You're probably broke or paycheck from paycheck. That would be your boy. See, I ain't no internet YouTube motherfucker. I'm not faking the phone for nobody. Paycheck to paycheck. Work. When I tell a motherfucking bro, you don't like a motherfucker that works, they're like, no, he works. No, 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 no. I mean, you don't like a motherfucker that works. Like 9 to 5, grind real hard. A motherfucker that works is a motherfucker that's always complaining about some shit that's involving his job. They not paying me for this. They not paying me for that. And you working like a dog. You wake up every morning, you put your dickies on, and you go to work. And you get no appreciation at your work. Fuck, some of us don't even get appreciation in the life, the personal life, from whoever. Maybe your friends, maybe your lady. If you're a woman, maybe your man. So then you start feeling unappreciated when you work. The other side of that shit is a motherfucker that might work, but this motherfucker might be on some sellout coon shit. He don't give a fuck how he's talked to. He don't give a fuck how the office views him. All his coworkers, or her, this can apply to her, they're just there. They're like, hey, I want to get my paycheck. They don't give a fuck how they're getting the paycheck. The ones that are out here on some self-made shit, independent contracting shit, really working for themselves, they work. You have to work. Like you really, really working. I just think that it's a lack of appreciation for a lot of brothers and sisters that do work and maybe live paycheck to paycheck who isn't flexing on the internet to be popular or any of that shit, man. There are people on here that go to school. There are people that work. There are people on here that work that's not on here showcasing their trips to Mexico and all this other fucking shit, acting as if they're just rich and all that. And don't get me wrong, a lot of people should have a goal in mind. Like you should all want a vacation and vacation with your loved ones, vacation with your wife, your woman, your man, your husband. But do it within means. Do it within your means. See, a lot of shit, like y'all, I don't know if y'all remember, but y'all remember when Bow Wow got caught flexing on what was them cheaper flights, trying to act like he was on the more expensive flights. And I just thought to myself, like, how pathetic do your life have to be to want to impress somebody that fucking much that you don't even know, that you can't even be real and just say, "Hey, I caught a cheaper flight." I mean, I would like I said before, I go back to spending money on your family at the end of the year. I would certainly do that. But I might go to Walmart. I'm gonna be a cheap rich motherfucker. See, I never said where I was gonna go because in my mind, where I come from, Northern California, don't let these stunner shades fool you. You had to learn how to survive. You had to learn how to budget. You know how to learn. You have to learn how to manage your finances. So I know how to live within my means. I'm not going to uh, what is it, Neiman's or some shit. You know, one of these places and shit to get a fucking, lids and all this shit. To get a hat, a $50 hat, $100 suit. Fuck that shit. Going to fucking Walmart, man. I'm going to, what's that, Factory to You? Man, I'm going to some place where I can get my money's worth, still pay my bills, and still take care of my peoples around me, my family members, and shit like that need help. Because my conditions, like I just said previously, taught me how to do that. It taught me not to spend all of my motherfucking money in one place at, one time. And if everybody got it like that on YouTube, why is everybody on YouTube to begin with? Is it just to showcase, like, damn, I'm in Mexico? It's a sister on here that's, you know, she's attractive, but she's always showcasing these different places, expensive places. That's just not realistic for the person that works. So clearly, that person has access to some certain shit where they don't really work, right? To have that type of uh, luxury. That's a fucking luxury. That's a luxury. Please. That's a luxury. If you are an adult, and especially a celebrity adult, why are you on some you need to impress people that you will never meet? Why? You should be over and beyond that shit from what you achieved. I would be a cheap ass celebrity. I would be a cheap ass celebrity. People would be like, man, I seen Dome up at the dollar store. I seen Dome up in Target's. But y'all fucking, I don't know what to call y'all, the posers that sell out the coons and shit. Y'all like, oh, I'm too good for that. I'm not shoving at no damn dollar store. I ain't shoving at no Walmart. That's for poor people. But you do realize percentage wise in the stats, it shows that we don't own a lot of fucking shit. We have a lot of buying power, but buying power doesn't mean shit if you don't own shit. Correct. That's real shit. Yeah, we're up there. We're almost number one in buying power. Correct. Mainly women, sisters, but we don't own shit. I don't know the percentage of the shit we don't own, but I already seen the percentage of what everybody else owns on some little census shit. And I'm like, we're only, what, 12, 13, 14%. Like it or not, it's not a lot of us. Under a lot of conditions, why it's not a lot. I'm going to go over that in a minute. But just the number of what I've seen of people that own different ethnic groups that own property and own homes and stores, we're not in that motherfucking category. I don't give a fuck what any of these fake ass scholars are telling you on YouTube. You might know somebody that owns some shit, but that don't mean we all own shit. Now the Caucasians and them other groups, ethnic groups, other nations, they own shit. But we all know why. We all know why. And we all know why a lot of our conditions wouldn't propel us to the top of owning a lot of shit. We have a lot of problems. We finance managing money correctly and putting money in the right place. What did I say previous? That's why we get fucked up off the shit. That's why I wanted a business and I invested in the business. So I invested in myself, self employed. Uh, Hatred, envy, jealousy. It usually stops us and puts us in a hard place. It usually, you can probably get killed by law enforcement, uh, Hispanic, but probably yours too. Your own kind will probably murk you too if you live in the hood and you have these type of dreams and goals and mindsets, right? So I'm naming every entity. Notice I'm not just saying just black folks, any of that. Also, you can put a damper on your mindset as well and also your growth because you might not think you're capable of doing anything better than what you're doing. So notice we're like on what, three? Environments, environmental habits. I might not have the right dialect to get that certain job that might propel me into in the company, or they want somebody that talk like Brian Gumbo or Kanye West. They ain't gonna want me. They don't want me. I'm not saying I'm the smartest or most intellectual. I could form a sentence, a decent sentence sometimes, but sometimes you're gonna hear a lot of hood in me. That's just that. So it's balanced. It's mixed. It's a mixture, right? It's always a mixture. But when you go down just those that I just named, I'm not going through everything. Does that sound like the type that would own shit, would be in a high percentage of owning shit? Think about that. Those things that I just named. Go back and rewind it. And that's not all the things. I didn't even expand on all of them. I'm just giving you just a general view on that shit. So we're not owning shit. We're not owning shit, but we do have the biggest buying power out there in the United States of the Americas. We do have the most buying power. That means we buying shit. What the fuck are we buying? What the fuck are we buying? So I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna drop the link. Anybody wanna pop up? They can pop up. I gotta give me a sip of some water. Yapo Yapo, man. Appreciate you being here, man. Relish. Cap, I seen you. Anybody that wants to come up is more than welcome to come up. If not, I totally understand. Sometimes I like to sit back and enjoy myself. But yeah, man, we definitely got to do better, man. all right, all right. Have to get my water. Appreciate anybody that's out there, man, watching this on your day off, Saturday night, chilling, man. Do me a favor and give me that like. Hit that like button. Yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Um, yeah, no, that's real shit, man. I'm so past impressing people. I don't think it was ever a time where I thought I had to impress anybody, though. I really don't. I don't think it was ever a time where I was like, I need to impress this person. I need to buy that. I'm not, probably when I was a kid or something like that, man. It had to be, when I was younger or some shit like that. It definitely wasn't now. In the later chapters, man, the later life, definitely wasn't then. I think that's something that fix my headset. I think that's something that people got to deal with within. I think that if you like that uncomfortable with yourself or that incomplete with yourself, where you feel like somebody that you don't know or have no bearings on your life that you need to impress, I think that something's wrong with you at this point in life. I couldn't imagine, especially if I was a celebrity. If I was a celebrity rapper, I couldn't even picture myself trying to impress somebody. I mean, to fly on planes and shit and go back and forth for different states, like it's nothing. Like that's a privilege of its own. That's a luxury of its own. So to front and act like you're doing something, bigger than maybe, you know, maybe you at one point had that shit, but you don't have it anymore. It's just like, come on, stop. At some point, you have to ask yourself, what do you gain from trying to impress people? At some point, you have to grow up. At some point, you have to be like, fuck this shit. I don't give a fuck what a person think. I don't give a fuck about no trend. I don't give a fuck about no slang. I don't give a fuck about none of this new ass little shit. I do me. And that's real life shit. I dress how I want to dress. Some people might say you dress like the early 2000s or even maybe the 90s, right? Just a t-shirt, some Levi's or something like that, right? Or Dickies, which I named earlier. Um, I don't feel like that at the age that I am, and I'm only getting older. I don't feel like I'm here to have to impress people anymore. I don't think that was never a thing with me. I don't think that I've ever been. I don't ever think I've been influenced like that. I wasn't easily influenced like that. Like I said, it had to be when I was like younger, like real younger, maybe even elementary school or some shit like that. It wasn't no high school or anything where I'm like, high school, you typically get out of that shit. Because around high school, you typically start to find out who you are. And you stop, dealing with cliques and all that shit. Or if you're just a weak fuck, you're gonna find cliques and then you're gonna click up with them and shit like that. I think that's a weak mindset, which is why I wasn't really a big fan of gangs, but it doesn't mean I don't know gang members. It doesn't mean I don't know people that's in gangs and shit like that. So it's a different to me. It's just a mindset that you shouldn't be that weak with yourself to have to feel like you have to impress somebody or be around a bunch of people just to feel like like you're in the in crowd and shit like that. You see a lot of that shit on YouTube, unfortunately. It's sad. And I really hope that when next year rolls around that a lot of these adult people, extra, super extra, uber extra people, man, come with a grown mindset next year and shit like that and do it for yourself. Don't do it for me. If I'm saying something that might piss you off or you just don't agree with or it doesn't resonate with you, that's fine. But I don't want to base my life perspectives and my life views from YouTube. I don't want to look at YouTube and be influenced to this shit to where I start hating black women. I start hating black people. This is the internet. I'm never gonna let this shit dictate me. People couldn't even influence me in real life. I'm not gonna let this shit do this shit while I'm on here. While I'm on here, I'm gonna watch what I wanna watch or be where I wanna be. And I would suggest that for everyone. Like everybody do have their vices. Everybody have their places they like to frequent. They like to be around. And certain people that they like to hang around and hear them talk. You start getting used to people after a while. When you've been around a group of people for so long and so many years, you typically are going to keep coming back. It's like you're fixed, right? Like an addict. It's like you're fixed. You just have to be there to hear them and experience, the crowd, the comments and all that shit, being in the chats. And there's nothing wrong with that at all. But just make sure you're doing it for the right reasons. And by right reasons meaning make sure that you can handle what that person is dishing out without letting that shit or allowing that shit to dictate your whole mental. Meaning when you listen to some of these black women channels that hate black men, right? That that's an example of that, and vice versa with the brothers and listening to a lot of the the man is failed. I call it the man is failed sector, where a lot of men failed but think that they succeeded because they make a certain amount of masses money without owning shit, obtaining any land or any property. And I don't think that the cause of the destruction of our community is just the man's fault. I think that it's a balance. I feel like it's a 50-50. I feel like the women definitely could choose a lot better than what they choose. But I think us as brothers, we need to offer something better too. So it goes hand in hand. I'm not gonna simp and just say that brothers we gotta do better. There's a lot of brothers out here. This the thing. There's a lot of brothers out here that's doing good, but they're not doing quite what a sister wants or the level of finances that they want them bringing, the money, the certain amount of money that they want them to bring in. So they duck on them. They say, fuck that. I'm going to go to this motherfucker. He's rich. He has 30 kids, but it's okay because I help raise them. That fucked up ass mindset. And I've been called broke and all that fucking shit. I've been called broke, but like I said previously, probably about 40 minutes ago, that when you're a person that works, you're not going to have a lot of money. Unfortunately, it is what it is. And a lot of people in America are like that. And there's a lot of people in America that have money. There's a lot of people in America that don't. It's a balance. It's a split. You see how life works? There's a lot of people that live paycheck to paycheck, and then there's a lot of people that have luxury. They can do things with their money. They have more money than they can count. Right? I agree with this comment. I definitely agree with this shit. The dynamic between black men and women is horrible right now. I totally agree with that shit. Um, I think that because it's my opinion, it's not facts, but I think a lot of it is all YouTube influenced and shit, man. I think it's social media in general, man. I think it's the Facebook and the Twitter, all these different little social media things. You know what I mean? I think it just adds fuel to the fire. When I look outside, man, the dynamic between the melanated woman and man, it doesn't look that fucked up. It doesn't look how Tranny G's explaining that shit. And not every brother is looking for an Amanda. Not every sister is a traitor. I think that a lot of these people on here, a couple of things that they're selling wolf tickets because if other nations wanted to fuck with you, they will fuck with you. If you were a high commodity, they will fuck with you. This is for brothers and sisters. And most of the time, when different nations want to fuck with brothers, it's always some type of fetish type shit. Like he has a monster dick, you want him to rearrange your insides, pretty much. It's a sister, it's a Aunt Mama, it's a mammy, all kinds of little, Serbian, uh, fantasies and shit, race play and shit, because they like doing that shit with the melanated woman and Caucasian man, dynamic. They love seeing that type of shit. And when you outside, I just don't. That's not the vibes that I get, man. I mean, we've always had the brothers and sisters. We always had a pretty rocky relationship, just historically, from what happened to us when we were in bondage and all that fucking shit when we were in chains. But I think that a lot of our shit comes from just the type of emotional abuse that we inflict on each other and also physical. There's a lot of sisters that's had something sacred taken from them, and it just happens to be the black man that took that from them. So now she has a bitter taste in her mouth, or maybe a few more than a few brothers break her heart and maybe use her for just certain things. And now she has a bitter taste for that because now when they meet a brother now, they require all these things because the last brother took advantage of this sister that was investing in his brother. And I'm not excluded from this shit. I admit all my shit and all my wrongs and shit. I've not always been the best, boyfriend in the past and shit like that. But I say past because I was younger. And when you're younger, you don't really know too much, right? I mean, that's just how it go, right? It's logic, right? That's just common logic, right? When you're young, you don't know shit. You know young shit. You don't know any shit. You don't know anything, you know. So you've been, in your late teens and your early 20s and shit like that, and just navigating through women and learning what it is to be a man, because I think a lot of things, especially, amongst melanated people in our community, we're not given the dynamics of what it is to be a man, to be a good man, to be a melanated, decent man. And we're usually just talking about what we can do with our dick and shit like that, how many, pussy holes I can fuck, um, or, how many bitches you could get pregnant and shit like that. That's usually how conversations uh, would spark. And um, when you're younger and shit like that, excuse my language, but I want to be as raw as possible, uncut as possible. That's how conversations work. When you're a teen, you're not talking about, oh, I want to own this shit. I want to own a bit. Like I never thought, even if it's an internet business, that I would ever be into that. Never. I never thought that. I never thought that I could be capable of doing that. I never thought that I would have the intellect to do that, to count inventory and then pop that shit online and shit like that. Like that shit looks smooth. You feel me? That looks real player. You know what I mean? To be able to count your inventory. Like I gotta count my inventory to put the right amount of items that I have for this shit online. So when people look at it, maybe they might want more than one to entice them. So I never thought that, I would be into something like that or even have my hands in something like that. That's something that I would love to see the young brothers and young men coming up talking about that and talking about owning businesses and owning property and shit like that. I mean, it's natural for us to talk about women. It's natural. You're gonna talk about, matter of fact, you're gonna talk about the opposite sex no matter what. You're gonna talk about the opposite sex no matter what. You're always gonna talk about. You see a woman with a fat ass, you're like, oh shit, she has a fat ass, right? But I think also we need to start incorporating the educational shit too, because I don't want to strip our gender, um, I wouldn't say attributes, but our gender behavior. That's a gender behavior. As a man, as a straight man, you want to, you know, when you having a beer, a little brewski or some shit with your homies, want to talk about women. If you're in the club, you're in the bar, you see a pretty woman, you're with your homies, you're gonna talk about a pretty woman. And it's vice versa. I know this because that's just the behaviors of being a human. We're all sexual beings. We're all, food, shelter, procreate, have children, raise your children, then die. That's what we do. That's human nature, right? So that's a given, right? That's a given to enjoy the opposite sex, right? I just wish when I was coming up that we talked about the other fucking things, the aspects of life, right? Like not only business owning, but even the entire, right? The older we get, are we still gonna be sagging the pants, or what are we gonna do with that, right? And I'm not saying I full blown sag. I'm not saying I do that at all. I'm saying that us brothers, we have a steez about us. We have a swag about us. We like to crab out sometimes. You know what I mean? You hit that step, that that diddy bop when you walk. You know what I mean? But I myself don't wear jeans that much. Now I wear, the slacks, the suits and shit. I like to wear button up and the blazer and shit because I started doing that at in my late 20s, my late 20s, And the reason why I started doing that in my late 20s because I wanted to get ready for being an adult and being seen as an adult. They're not gonna fuck with you if your Dickies and Levi's is sagging off your ass. You know what I mean? They gonna look at you like, what the fuck is this? But um, oh yeah, you wear sweats. No, I wear sweats sometimes. You know, that's if I'm out and about. But if I have like in a little event or some shit like that, you know, more than likely I got my slacks on and my dress shoes and shit. And you know, the unfortunate thing though is I did have to learn how to tie a tie from YouTube. My uncle taught me. I don't want to make a fib. I don't want to lie. My uncle taught me how to tie a tie probably in my early teens, but I forgot. I forgot because I haven't wore a tie in so long. I just forgot how to do it. So I had to YouTube how do you put a tie on. I've been putting the tie on ever since. I love it. I just want to be somebody that's not having identity crisis, um, just conflicted on you know how old I am and shit like that. I see these 50-year-olds um, out here on the West. They just they dressing like you know little fucking teenage kids and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't want to be dressing like that at 50. You know, I want to dress my age and dress my part, man. I'm not desperate to try and fit in. I'm not desperate to try to for some image, shit like that. I was never the one that would buy the latest shit, to buy the latest Jordans or buy the latest jeans or none of that fucking shit. I wasn't doing any of that shit, but my cousins were and partners were. And there's nothing wrong with people that do that. You want to be fly, dress fly, man. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I'm not knocking anybody, man. I don't like anybody with your faith. None of that shit. Any fucking thing. Anything you can disagree with me and all that shit, man. It's okay. Everybody have their own way of thinking. What I'm saying is fly to me was not spending $200 on some shoes. That's all I'm saying. Call me cheap, call me broke, whatever the fuck. I don't give a fuck. Right? As long as I have money to pay my bills, all that shit, man. Put food on my table. I don't give a fuck. I will buy the cheaper shoes, not pay less or anything, but definitely buy the cheaper shoes. Some shoes that were on sale and all that. Because when I was younger, especially in my early teens, I had got me a little, you know, newspaper paper job and shit like that. So I was working all through high school. And one thing, you know, you notice when you spending your own money. See, when you spending mommy and daddy's money, shit, you like, yeah, let me get that. Shit, let me get that too. Let me get 3 pairs of that. Nah, when you spending your own money, yeah, you wearing some, maybe some knockoff shit, or you wearing the less expensive version of that shoe or that particular item that you want. Like the, you know, the shades, them kind of look like Gucci's, but them not Gucci's. No, I only spent a few bucks on these, but um, I think that's the biggest problem that I've seen within, you know, my community is just, you know, the priorities. Like the priorities be so fucked. And I think we have to stop shaming brothers and sisters for wanting to live frugal and wanting to live within their means. I don't think it's a problem with like it's so many fucking people on here. Like I swear it's this one bitch on here that always is talking about people their own people in poverty. And oh they're at Metro and shit like that. I didn't realize that that was a fucking horrible thing that you're actually paying for your own phone, not having your phone be paid by a bitch. and them bitching about that. Oh well, your other bitch pays for your. But when a brother goes to pay their phone bill at Metro, y'all complaining, or no, y'all not complaining. This is what y'all do. Y'all poverty shaming, and talking shit and saying, "Why are you at Metro?" I didn't even know that that was a fucking thing, honestly. And then everybody shot on this motherfucker's government assistance. When you when you hear a lot of these channel holders talking shit to another channel, it's always you on Section 8, you on Fool's Day, you on all that shit. Like, damn, what about the motherfuckers that's not on YouTube that actually really be needing these things, though? And y'all motherfuckers are so fucking ignorant that you don't even know Caucasians are the most on that motherfucker. So what does that say about them? Since all you can do is poverty shame your own people when they're on it. And then for those that might, watch it on the replay and say, well, it's a percentage thing. You guys may be, 12, 13, 14%, but most of your percent is on government assistance. Okay. But that's a whole different stat and graph. What we're talking about is the most motherfuckers that are on government assistance that needs help. That's what it is. Caucasians. They're Caucasian. Now, I could do something next year and show you a graph of California. Might have to get a pointer or some shit so I can show you a lot of the fucking different counties of different nations that are on assistance. It's not even really even that surprising. Now we're not that big of a population out here. We're not even that big of a population on this land. Well, second worldwide, right next to the Oriental, the Mongoloid, the Asian. But throughout these counties, it's not surprising who needs government assistance. So when you see your own people doing that shit, it's disturbing. Because I didn't know paying your phone bill at Metro, fuck, I didn't know paying your phone bill, that was a thing. That was a thing to be ashamed of. When I'm like, oh, at least the brother paying for his own phone. Check that shit out. But you talking about Metro? Metro. Okay. Bitch, does the phone service work? Does it do what it gotta do? Can I make phone calls on that motherfucker? Or is it Stone Age shit? Do I gotta holler, get two fucking paper cups and shit and do Flintstone style? Or, bitch, how it work? I was disgusted. I was like, what are we? And then everybody's in there just laughing because the brother is paying his fucking phone bill in Metro. In Metro. His own phone bill, though. Them stupid bitches didn't emphasize or underline his own phone bill, meaning none of you dumb bitches are paying the shit. So how are you clowning this motherfucking dude like that? And I don't know if it was really the guy that they were talking about. It could have just been, they clowning and this and that. But I'm thinking to myself, how could you be shaming anybody, a brother or a sister? It's still a random brother for paying their own cell phone bill at a place that you don't approve of because it's not expensive enough. It's not expensive enough. The phones these days are like what, 200 motherfucking dollars, $500. But where you get, where you pay the bill for the motherfuckers to let the call go or call another motherfucker, it's not expensive. It's Metro. this dumb bitch was saying that as if it was like Payless or some shit. Like, dude, like bro was paying his cell phone bill at Payless. I'm still trying to catch the comedy and the humor of poverty shaming. I'm still trying to find out why the coons on this motherfucker do that shit. Why you feel it's okay to poverty shame your own fucking people that historically comes from poverty, and we're not the most on social, or excuse me, we're not the most on public assistance. Fact. Exactly, realist. And what's going on with you, sexy Southern Belle? I appreciate you being here tonight. I know it's late on the East Coast, y'all, so I definitely appreciate y'all being here. Do me a favor, hit that melanated thumbs up, push it through the algorithm, right? I know. I know it's boring as fuck. I know. But hey, it's all I can give y'all, man. It's all I can give y'all. You know, I spruce it up. I try to spice the channel up, man, and give, more things that I like and more things I'm interested in. You know what I mean? But uh hey, what can I say, man? I'm not gonna apologize. I'm saying this shit. I know my channel's boring. I'm not into the drama. I'm not. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to disappoint anybody that comes in, comes out. I'm not about the drama. Sorry. I'm not. But what I'm not gonna do is I'm not gonna apologize for the content that I put out. I can't do that. Because a lot of the content that I put out, a good chunk, a good percentage of what you see on my is shit that I like. A lot of this shit is what I like. I like video games and shit. I like, I love my people. I don't just like I love my people. I come from a place of ultimate cipher, of ultimate uh, revolution, of evolution, right? On what the template of what the black man and black woman should be. Afros and all black. I come from that shit. That's my town. So I can't apologize if I'm not entertaining enough for a lot of people. And I'm never gonna do that. I'm never gonna do that. I'm sorry, but not sorry. Ivan the Great, man, what's going on with you, man? I appreciate that, man. I appreciate you being here, man. Oh, it's only 11:17. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, man, we chilling, man. We just wrapping up the year, man. I'm gonna come back next year, man. If anybody wanna hop up, can hop up. The link should be out there. Oh, you already hit the like. Appreciate it, appreciate that, man. Uh, we can do better, man. We can do better, but I think a lot of people on here on YouTube, I think they don't want to do better. I mean, I've been and accepted that a lot of our people don't want to do better on here. Uh, Specifically on here, I haven't been on any other platform but YouTube. I don't do the Fed book. I don't do the tweet. I don't do none of that shit. I don't. I like YouTube for certain reasons. Just like to get my content how I get it, my information how I get it. I like it. It's straightforward. The interface is real easy to use. I like YouTube. YouTube is where I'm at. I hope you're doing well, man. I hope everybody's doing well out there, man. that up for you. But I definitely do appreciate everybody showing up tonight, man. We just chilling, man. Hopefully y'all get the ambiance, the music, man, and y'all chilling, man. I know a lot of people with their families tonight, man. Happy holidays if you celebrate. If you don't, happy blessing day for you and to you. I hope everybody is doing good, man, and doing well, man. I hope everybody's safe, enjoying their day off, man. I'm sure a lot of people had a day off. If not, hey, you happen to tune in, man. I'm glad that I can be there, man, for your listening, be that listening pleasure for you. Uh, it's nothing wrong with listening to podcasts on any um site, long as it's not a podcast, like I said, that if you're a person that easily gets influenced, I don't really think that you should be listening to podcasts. Maybe not even watching TV if you're a person that easily gets influenced. Like if you see some shit, you see a motherfucker jump off the roof and split their whole entire neck and back and spinal cord, but you still want to do that shit anyway, you might not need social media. You might need a book. You don't need TV. You need a book. You need a book. And but if you are a person that can watch a multitude of videos and not take every single motherfucker that you listening to serious, and oh, I hate black men now, I hate black women now, then hey, if you can stomach it, do it. I used to do that when I got on YouTube. I used to see like, damn, why the fuck these bitches always crying, man? Let me check this shit out. You listening to them and you like, oh, okay, I get it. Now it's the fucking type of dudes that you're dealing with. That's that. It's pretty simple. Then you go to, the Manus failed area where all they doing is crying about women all goddamn day. It's women's fault. You ruined the community. Why you women do this to the community, the Pookies and Ray Rays and shit like that? I'm like, fuck. Are we the only group of people that give our own people names that are just fucked up? Like Pookie and Ray Ray, like we the only community that do that shit? Or what? I'm not a fan of that word either, man. I mean, I'll use it, in conversation just to explain, just to get a grasp of what the shit is, because we know what a Pookie Ray Ray. I think we do. At least I think I know what a Pookie and Ray Ray might stand for, but uh, I just don't like it because of what I think it might stand for, and I don't think that. Look, man, every nation, every ethnic group has a Pookie and Ray Ray, dude. Some of them might have Juan and Ecto. Some of them might have Chad and Bradley. I think a lot of nations, man, they have their bad and they have their good and shit like that. So, but it's only us, man, that just have to make the shit popular. We have to brand ourselves. You know what I mean? Like a fucking tattoo and shit. We have to brand ourselves with these words and shit, and it's like fuck. We really take enjoyment in doing this shit, and that's what's sad. And I think that maybe next year, I think that we can do. I hope these next couple of days. It shouldn't be next year, but I know a lot of people get in that mindset. That phony ass mindset of New Year's resolution and all that. Nah, not a brother like me. A brother like me, I gotta get the shit done. I gotta get to that shit. Today, I gotta get to that shit now. If I'm talking about changing the mindset or changing something, I gotta do it now. I gotta start now. I gotta start ASAP. There's not gonna be a time where, oh, I'm gonna pick this day and let me start now. Mm, there's no day. It's now. But unfortunately, when you're dealing with other people, you're dealing with their time, and like I said, I just hope next year a lot of these bigger platforms um, use their platforms for good and not bad, and actually present shit that you can use. You know what I mean? Present a lot more information next year. I hope so. I hope so, especially with the wrap up and shit like that. We're wrapping up this year, man. For this year, man, I hope everybody's had um, a good, decent year. I mean, I know a lot of people probably had some ups and downs this year, but you gotta you gotta remember the downs that you had and try and make those downs um, ups next year, and just get to it. Just execute, man. When you looking at next year, look at next year as something like I gotta improve on certain things. If I'm having a financial issue or some shit, maybe I'm not making enough money, look into maybe changing your job or adding a part-time job, some shit like that, or get on your hustle, get on your grind, find some type of way, because that's how I did it. That's how I did it. I'm not saying I'm a full success. I'm not saying I'm a turnaround success. I'm just saying you know, that's just something that I apply to my life. I would use that advice. I'm not making a lot of money here. Let me get another gig. First, let me ask for a raise. Let me see if I can get a raise. If not, I'm gonna get a part-time gig. Flip some burgers for a couple hours a day, just to get a couple extra bucks. Especially where I live, because it's so expensive here. So expensive here. You're looking at like 40, 50 bucks, like just to have a decent, nutritious meal with your veggies and all that. So that's something right there to apply. If you feel like, hey, I want to learn about a certain faith, I want to learn about a certain teaching, a certain culture, get get to reading books. Get to your book learning every night. I try to walk out with some type of form of, what is it, meditation or something, however you want to put it, man. I either rock out with the Torah at night until I'm asleep, and it usually works, or the shit that hopefully you can hear in the back, just sounds, right? Just rain, rain dropping, um, airplane sounds. I love being in the airplane on the phone, though. The phone version. I've never been on a real actual airplane. I think I would be terrified as shit, but um, I'm gonna have to do it one day. But I love hearing the airplane sounds though because it's soothing and it makes you want to sleep. But I also love rain sounds too, train sounds, shit like that. Whatever type of sound or whatever, type of advice, whatever floats your boat. You might want to hear um an audio book on how to get money and how to become richer, right? Or an audio book on, the racial dynamic of that's going on now, right, in America. Anything you want. Anything you want, you could choose that. Rock out. Meditate. Pick what you want. If you want to expand your mind next year, there you go. Those are a couple things. You want to get into fitness, feel like you want to improve your physical, start walking. Put the YouTube down and walk an hour a day. Did you get out today? Did you get some fresh air today? That shit. And get yourself download yourself assistant. Somebody like one of those little planners. Right. I used to have this clean ass app that will talk to you with like, oh, do you want to make schedule this date for tomorrow? Like, like a meeting or some shit, or let me know that I have to go shopping. It was a nice app, man. It's a beautiful app, man. But then it fucked up. The creators fucked it up, man. They had it right the first time, then it just fucked up with an update. Do that. I'll write it down. It's about improvement. It's about progression. We want to progress next year. We want to be better. I want to make more money than I made this year. I want to double that. That's the plan. And I want to become better mentally. And I want to try. I really want to try and just treat people a little bit better. I don't treat people like I'm an asshole, but I want to try and treat people a little bit better. Right. And I've been working on that shit. It's just never, your old ways usually come out. Right. We all have our ways about us. Right. Our personnel, temperament, that temperament that said we all have that shit. Right. So it's not easy just saying, okay, let me act this way and forget, something plus years, how long I've been doing this shit and acting. But look, every day you should want to change. It shouldn't be every end of the year. And I'm only saying the end of the year because I know some people that might listen to this on a playback or some people that's out there thinking January 1st, I'm going to quit this, I'm going to quit that. You quit today. You could quit today and start today. Or you could start improving on the things that you want to improve. Don't let social media consume you. Don't let dumb shit consume you. Don't let it. Because if you had a fucked up ass year, you got to figure out what made it fucked up. If it was a dude that stressed you out, cut him. If it's a woman that stressed you out, cut her. And then move on. And then progress. Get better. But don't invest so much, man, in shit that it's not good for you. You don't want to do that. You don't want to put your all in shit that's not doing nothing for you. Life is about progression, man. That's what life is about. And you want to start immediately. Immediately. So the brother Yapo Yapo says, for being, I agree. I agree totally. I truly agree with that. I do because I felt that way with that Advice show guy, and I didn't really want to say his name, and I was so disappointed when I found out the things that I found out about that guy because I actually donated a few times to him, and I'm not ashamed to say that shit. With the platform that he had at the time, it was real. Like I thought it was like real pro black. I thought it was really like, hey, this guy is really doing it for us, right? And then I found out, he has a whole white fucking woman and shit. Fucking, I was like, what the fuck? Like a white wrestler and shit. You feel me? Talking about she's Hispanic. Well, Hispanic's not a race. She clearly is white, sir. And then, you find out that he has the show where, the old channel where he was clowning black women on his Tammy shit. It was disappointing. It was very disappointing. I mean, I guess now he's in Africa and shit. Chilling with the Africans and shit. It's the African way, right? But this was the same guy that, what they had the show, was the hyena show or some shit. He was clowning sisters, but now you Wakanda and shit. So I was very disappointed in that. And I guess the brother was married to a sister at one point, but I guess he just was brokenhearted about this shit. But hey, it is what it is, man. I hate just talking about just these type of people just by themselves and shit like that, because I don't think that he speaks for the entire community and shit like that. I think he's for the people that follows him. He's for the people that's for him. You know, I don't hate the dude, but I just, like I said, man, if you were on all this righteous, shit that you say, man, you would, it would be a different presentation. It definitely would be. I just think that a lot of people on here lose their fucking mind. And then, the other thing I dislike too is where he was trying to hold his his subscribers hostage. By, if you don't donate, I'm gonna cancel this shit. And then I was like, man, yeah, I just lost so much respect for him. And I know it's a lot of people on here that like him, and he got like 1 million subs, and there's a lot of people with that fake ass back and forth shit. One minute they not fucking with him, and the next minute they fucking with him, and it's just like, I'm good. I don't know these people in real life, so I don't really have to fuck with them like that. I can't fuck with somebody like that. That's just that's just some out of pocket shit right there, man. Like, he had me fooled as well as a lot of people. You know, that's one of the reasons why I don't like donating anymore. Because you don't really know who or what you donating to. But if I do donate, I just donate. On the strength of my heart and what I believe in and what I see in that content creator. Um, but it should be like that, man. It should be. It should be where you have to be cautious of who you fuck with on here and who you invest in on here. I mean, it should, but it shouldn't too at the same time. It shouldn't be where you have to second eye, third eye your people, or side eye, excuse me, side eye your own people, and ask yourself questions like, well, should I donate to them? Should I do this? But it ends up becoming, you know, or it shouldn't be a point where you're asking yourself questions about, should I do these things, or it should just be automatic, right? It should just be automatic. It should just be, fuck, I like what this brother stands on. I like what this sister stands on. They stand on some principles, and yeah, I definitely want to do that. But no, you do have to question a lot of people's motives, a lot of people's character, a lot of people's persona on here. You have to question that shit. Unfortunately, it sucks, but you have to do that. It definitely, and that's why I don't like that, dude. Brother Yapo, that's why I don't like that dude. I hate when people use our people for profit, and I hate when our people are looking for profit. Like I just think that shit is it's just like just do your thing, man. Just do your thing. I saw that with Pseudo. That's why I never hopped on the Pseudo train. I remember when Black Woman, this guy came out, man. Everybody was on that boy's dick. Even the elder Rashawn was on that motherfucker. He was like, he's the truth. He's the shit. Always said good things about Pseudo. Then now Pseudo is like, you these bitches, woo woo these bitch. I mean, he doing the shit in a matter of like he don't like black women. It seemed like he on some Tammy shit. He don't like black women, but he fucking black women and he'll get them pregnant. But I don't think Pseudo like black women. I think he like white women, white Hispanic women. That's who Pseudo like. I definitely that's something that pisses me off too. It's like, are you supposed to be anti-black? Like people make being pro-black like it's some type of disease or some shit on here. Like it's a disease to be pro-black. Like you not supposed to like yourself or some shit. Like I've never heard that shit. You do know pro is good, right? It don't matter the experiences you had with pro blacks, bitch. It doesn't matter your perception with pro blacks. It don't matter if you like Muslims. It doesn't matter if you like Hebrews. None of that motherfucking shit. What are you not supposed to like yourself? I don't understand that shit. And it be your people doing this shit. That's what's disturbing. It's like you're not supposed to like yourself. You're not supposed to feel good about yourself and your color. Or you're not allowed to do that shit. Yeah, that's very true. That's very true, brother. You gotta be, man. Gotta be. That's the shit you're supposed to put in your atmosphere. I just think when we say we pro black, I think we just have to execute though. So not only am I gonna say that, I'm gonna be in the community, handing clothes out and handing out um some food, some shit like that. And then not only that, just trying to give them information and shit on some programs that can help them. You know what I mean? To get you off the streets and shit. That's the big one right there. That's the one I like. I'm always trying to give information and programs like, hey, this can help you, brother. They'll help you over here. They'll help you find a gig and all that shit right here. But I definitely, man, I'll take you out. You get something to eat, man. You know, for the night, at least for a day. You know, get them some dinner. I guarantee you'll be like a god to them. You know what I mean? You'll be like the fucking. They'll remember you for life. I wouldn't say God. That's a bad choice of words. Not God. I mean, we all have the God in us, but they're gonna remember you for life. It's like it's what's that? It's a key moment in their life. There you go. Very key moment in their life. Somebody taking their time out of their day, out of their night, the money out of their pocket to buy them a meal, and then feed them information on where they could get money and all the help that they need to get, where you could get some other clothes at and shit like that's all that shit is like I wouldn't say free, but practically is. If you could do that, if you could do that, come on, man, it ain't gonna cost you no more than what, $10 at the most. At the most. There's people on here donating to other motherfucking people that claim they're rich $100. And you can't go into the hood, motherfucker. I'm on the turf where it's gangbangers and shit, a lot of Hispanics, handing out clothes. And if I had extra money, I would have handed out some pizza. Definitely would have handed out some pizza. Definitely. So a motherfucker can have a hot meal, can have something hot. And that's not the holiday. That's not the holiday. That's a random day. That's a regular day. Awesome, awesome, man. I'll check that out. I'm glad you put that up there, man, so people could check out brother Yappa's magazine on the replay. Should be there. But just going to the hood and just handing out some clothes, man, that's free. I'm pretty sure you got a shirt that don't fit, you don't want, some pants you don't wear, a hat that's just sitting there. Go up the street, hand that shit out. It ain't gonna cost you. It's free. It's free. That's shit that we should be preaching in the community. That's shit that we should be talking about in the community and not reacting to every situation with violence or wanting to kill another brother because he got jewelry and you don't. Let's get out of that mindset. Everything takes time, man. These brothers that got the jewelry, I'm gonna say most of them. I'm not gonna say all of them. Most of them work. They grinded for that shit. There's a lot of fake ass brothers that get put on in this rap shit just to be a coon and shit like that. But if you see a brother, my point, if you see a brother with a chain on and a watch on, don't think you can't do that. You just gotta grind like that brother. And that should be with everything. Don't envy your own people. Be inspired. Like, damn, you got that big ass, shop. You got that building. My dream is to have that. I have my little business, but I want a bigger business. I want that shop. I'm gonna work hard to get that shop because I see you got it, brother. That's how we think. We are the type of people that really, when we start becoming bricklayers like we are, because we invented everything, and we still to this day don't get credit for this shit. It's contagious. The reason why you see 9-year-old drill rappers and shit is because drill is popular. You're the rap industry is promoting drill music and us killing other brothers and stray bullets hitting our women. But if you start promoting, hey, I got some information that'll get you off the street, brother. Woo, woo, woo. It's not it's not the message, it's how you deliver the message. Some brothers will take it better. It's not that you're not giving the information right. It's that some brothers might take the information a little bit better on somebody that lived that life. That I understand what you're going through because I'm going through this shit. I went through this shit. So let me help you. Because there were people that did the same thing for me. Oh, I see you coming up, young blood. Let me help you. That's what we should be promoting. That's what we should be doing as a community. And that's just my opinion. I mean, some people might disagree. That's cool. And I already know for a lot of us skin folk ain't all kin folk. Exactly, Brother Yapo. And we also gotta remember that we have to respect each other's mind, man. We're not gonna all think the same. We're not gonna all think alike. We shouldn't be disrespectful with each other. We shouldn't be downing each other on what we think or what your ideology is, what your faith is. I think that shit, man, you gotta outgrow that shit, man. You gotta outgrow that shit. There's other shit, bigger shit in the world. There's so much shit in the world you could be doing. There's so much shit in the world you could be studying. But instead, a lot of us want to study bullshit. We want to study this horse shit that don't get us nowhere. And you should be tired of doing that, man, especially at the end of the year. At the end of the year, I know for a lot of y'all want to change. For me, I change yearly because I have to. That's how you evolve. Or I change daily, excuse me, because I have to evolve. So if it's something I don't know, I'm going to learn it. I have to learn it. That would be daily. That's all the time. All the time on the grind. I have to. If I want to learn about this shit, I'm going to read about it. If somebody mentions something that catches my fancy, tickles my fancy, I'm gonna read about it. I'm gonna learn about it. I'm gonna research about it. All of us should be like that. All of us should be like that. But yeah, my condolences and RIP to all of the young brothers that we lost from gun violence this year. It's a lot. And I'm pretty sure we're gonna have more. I'm pretty sure we're gonna have a lot more. And we need to start putting this out in the atmosphere of not killing your people, not being jealous of shit that you don't have. Just work harder for that, brother. Just like I have to. And you'll get there. Don't kill your own people over jewelry. And because you don't have it or you feel like you should have it. Come on, that's not how fucking life works, man. That's not how life works. Are you a man or are you a boy? You gotta grind for it, man. You gotta work hard for it. It's gonna take time for it. It takes time for everybody. But you gotta grind for it, man. But yeah, about to get ready to wrap it up, man. I definitely will see y'all next year. And I definitely appreciate every brother and sister that came in tonight, 2022, going into 2023. And any any of those that listen to this shit beginning to the end, hopefully you can apply some of that shit, if you want. If you want. But some of the greatest shit I ever heard in my life was Life is About Evolution. It's a rapper. It's the greatest shit that I've ever heard. The greatest lyric I've heard. Life is about evolution. Ill ass lyric, right? I just wanted to leave with that. We can do it. We just gotta want to do the shit. We just gotta want to do this shit. Yeah, nah, shit. I went fucking 2 hours, man, and then nah, I don't want to talk about that horse shit. That Megan shit, man. People like once again, that's a trigger, and by trigger I mean it's that black man versus black woman shit. There's certain things that I'm just not gonna talk about, man. Um, I'll probably post it on a tab or some shit if it's something that's just news. But I'm hoping, a lot of people that come to my channel, they're not brainwashed and shit. So that's something I like. You can read the shit for what it is. I just read it like, oh shit, he could be facing 22 years, getting deported back to Canada. Okay. Um, it is what it is. You got to let the law do what the law's supposed to do, and put let the law take it into the law's hands. You know what I mean? They're doing what they have to do. If he gets convicted, he gets convicted. There's nothing I can do. I'm not understanding what the problem is with this shit. I don't know if a lot of men feel like he didn't do it or feel like he shouldn't have to go. I'm like, well, if a bullet hit the bitch, then you're gonna have to do some time over this shit. I mean, what the fuck is wrong with fucking slow ass people on this motherfucker? I just don't understand that shit. I don't get it. What could you possibly be mad about? I mean, I mean, but once again, this comes to me, and when I say both sides, and I say a balance shit, because I've always been balanced, because I feel like balance in our community is always the it's the logical thing. It's the real thing. Think about this shit. Um, should the bitch have been there with all them with the dudes that she was with? Knowing that a lot of these dudes, especially these new rappers, they need their ego played with and catered to, and then all you talk about is fucking and this and that. But you claim that black men don't respect you, but you don't even respect you. So how the fuck does that even work? So I just think that it's a balance of this shit. I think that everybody in the situation fucking uh invested into this fucking shit. But at the same time, man, y'all can have all the fuckery in the world, but when bullets let off and it hit somebody, man, that person could have died. Megan could have died, and it just would have been all bad. It would have been all awful. So, um, like I said, the law's doing what the law's gonna do. I'm not saying um, poor black man or any fucking thing like that. These are grown ass adult people. They make their own decisions. You're gonna have to deal with those decisions that you make. So I don't feel anything. You shouldn't. I'm sure that you knew that the guy had a gun. I'm sure of it that you knew he had a gun. Especially knowing the type of rapper that you fucking with. These motherfuckers talk about guns and all this shit all day. You chose mentally to be with that motherfucker. That's what you did. To be around that in that atmosphere with liquor, guns, and egos and all that shit. But at the same time, we can't have your stupid ass shooting women, bro. Because you feel like she fucked somebody that you don't like or your ego's been broke. We can't have you killing a broad over that. We can't. So the law's doing what the law doing, man. I can't say shit on it, man. That's a grown ass adult man. That's a grown ass adult woman. It is what the fuck it is. I don't know what the fuck the big thing is. That's why I didn't talk about it. These are grown ass adult people, man. Yeah, I draw the line, brother Yapo, on certain topics, man, because I don't talk about every fucking topic. Especially when it's celebrities and shit. That's just not something you're gonna see all the time over here. But this was one of those that I just wasn't gonna touch my damn self because it's gender baiting and fuck, man. People act like people can't do crimes and shit and this and that. I guess people are feeling like because it's a black women feel unprotected, but it's like, why the fuck would you be around a motherfucker like that that's you know is dangerous, that you know had a gun? I know he wasn't hiding a gun, but at the same time, I don't agree with the stupid fuck trying to kill the broad. You know what I mean? Like you fucking retard. You really wanted to see her dance and or your ego was hurt or this and that. Like fuck out of here. Why the fuck, like, hey, you threw your life away over nothing, over a brawl. So it's like, he grown ass motherfucker. I mean, the law gonna do what the law gonna do. It ain't nothing I can say about it. My opinion is futile at this point, man. It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean shit. My opinion is just an opinion at this point. It wouldn't mean shit. You know what I mean? He fucked his life off. He fucked it off. There's nothing I can say about it. I don't feel like that any of this shit represents black men or anything like that because I don't have no desires of shooting a bitch. Especially if I'm a rich rapper. If I'm a rich rapper, couldn't you just find another broad? I mean, fuck, don't everybody in Holly Strange, don't everybody fuck each other anyway? I mean, I'm confused. It's weird. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, sometimes I do, but it's super rare. I try to come with my own just thoughts, man, and I talk about certain topics that I feel like are beyond what the topic is. Um, Other than that, yeah, man, or just shit that I like. I like horror films and, as you can see, video games too. But I like to talk about shit that concerns, my people, that pertains my people, I should say, because we all should be concerned about what's going on with us, our community, who's attacking our community, the coons in the community, and we gotta do better in the community too. Definitely, I agree wholeheartedly with that shit. You know what I mean? But I think women got to make better choices and better decisions and think more common sense too. You know what I mean? As well as the dudes, you know what I mean? We can't have you killing the women, bro. Like, fuck. You need the women to procreate with. You feel me? So can't have you killing Megan and shit, you know what I mean? But at the same time, Megan, you knew the motherfucker is a whatever gangsta ass rapper, whatever the fuck he is, thugged out, woo woo woo. Come on, you can't be that surprised that he had a gun and he was gonna shoot the shit. Ego driven, a lot of these motherfuckers are. So you feel me, realist? So it's both parties, man, in the situation. It's both parties in the situation, man. They all grown people. He made a fucked up decision. I know he's regretting it, but he got to live with that shit. He did that shit. He gonna have to live with that shit for the rest of his life. You tried to kill Megan the Stallion because she may have fucked somebody, or you wanted to see the bitch dance, whatever the fucking case may be. We can't have you killing the women, bro, because of your fucked up ego. And there's so much pussy out there. I just find it hard to believe you tripping off that if she fucks some other rapper. I just it you hear what I'm saying, right? This is the shit that these stories are built on, and how can I sit here with a straight face reporting this shit without laughing? Like this shit is just fuck out of here. Fuck out of here, man. Like, I couldn't do this shit, man. Like real shit. Some of these stories are fucking dumb as shit. Like A lot of these stories are dumb as fuck. I just don't understand this shit, man. But you know, a lot of YouTubers, man, they get they rocks off, man. They hop on some of these things, and you know, like I said, man, I appreciate everybody that came, man. We did 2 hours without talking about that shit, and we want to evolve over here, man. We want information. You know what I mean? I'm gonna try and just do that and stick with the shit, man. Stick with the formula. We want information and shit. We want our people to be informed and be ready, be aware. You know what the fuck is going on outside, man. It's a lot of things going on outside. We don't want our children growing up thinking that the world is fucking uh syrup, pancake syrup. That's what came to my mind. That shit came to my mind, pancake syrup. Shit. Donuts and cookies, man. We don't want them to think it's sweet out there, man. We want our kids to be prepared, educated, and all that shit there, man. Our kids can be business owners. Our kids can be all kinds of shit. Doctors, all that shit. Lawyers. That's what we want. And we want information and educational shit that lets us know, like, damn, prejudice exists. It exists, and it exists in your backyard. It exists in your front yard. It exists in your side yard. So when I do certain shit and I showcase this shit, you can see for your eyes, like, yeah, it ain't the fuck you talking about. This system ain't going nowhere. It seems like it get worse every fucking year. I done seen a lot of Karens and shit and Ken dolls that just don't like black people for whatever the fucking case may be. They just don't like black folk. But, you know. Oh no, you good, bro. You good, man. It ain't nothing to apologize, brother. You good. You definitely good, man. That was a good. It was a good brief topic. Shit, we only talked about it for a couple minutes. Definitely. What we want to do for next year is the brothers and sisters that want to come together and want to have conversations, dialogue. We got to get them to come together, and that should be the shit. And then we gotta do it. We gotta execute. Talk, communication, and execute. We gotta do that shit next year. We can't just talk about it. We gotta get out of the community. Hey, you hungry? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I got you. If you need a ride or something to the doctors or some shit, I got you. Well, they actually got services and shit for that, but I'll put you on to them services. I like doing that. I've been doing that for a while. It ain't just the clothes. I'm just giving brothers and sisters I see on the street. We start to yap, we start to talk. I'm like, hey, well, you know that they do this and that. Oh, you didn't know that? Let me get you this right quick. Bam. Information is just as good as a dollar. I don't know why people act like they can't even just give certain information and then they want to hide the information and then, a lot of brothers and sisters don't want to tell the brothers and sisters shit about all these, programs, all these workshops that can help you with anything you need. All type of assistance shit for shit that you need. So yeah, I wanted to do that, man. I'm gonna sign out for the year, man. The rest of the year, man. I'm gonna watch everybody else's shit from the clouds on my treehouse and shit, man. I hope all is well, man. I hope everybody took some shit from this shit. I appreciate every brother and sister that came, all the brothers and sisters that hit the replay. Make sure y'all get that like up, man. And I'll see y'all next year. And hopefully, you know, everybody can grow and progress, man. All right, y'all be good. 2022, we out. See y'all 2023, man. Y'all be good.